Welcome into ZBR today, guys. Football is officially underway. Week 1 is in the books. We got some thoughts and some reaction to some of the teams and some of the games throughout the week. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, welcome into ZBR. We're going to do some week 1 reactions today. We're going to go ahead and jump right in real quickly with Detroit versus Kansas City. I kind of touched with a little bit of reactions on the solo episode on Sunday, but we're going to quickly give these guys a couple chance to react to, I guess, their loss. What did you guys think about Kansas City losing?
Darius Tony lost them that game. Basically, sum it up.
Fair.
I thought Detroit could win. I didn't think it'd be like that. But it is what it is. On to the next week for them.
Yeah, pretty much agree with what Reed said. I thought both teams looked unimpressive. Lions are good, so that's good for the league, but I don't think the Chiefs are quite who they are. I guess they didn't have Kelsey, so we'll see. But yeah, good for Detroit.
Yeah, still missing Chris Jones, too.
They just signed him to a deal, so he'll be back.
Yeah, and you can't expect Kadarius Toney to drop passes like that week in and week out.
Yeah.
And if he does, he just won't play. So
Yeah,
I
would
don't
hope
think
not.
that'll be the problem it was going forward. But yeah, we'll see. I hope it is. I mean, I hope he's dropping passes all year long. I'm not rooting for any Kelsey injuries. Maybe the one he has just kind of lingers and he's just got to take a year off or something. I don't know. But yeah, would love to see the Chiefs not be good this year. We're off to a great start. Moving forward to Sunday, we got Carolina and Atlanta. I took an L in this game. Brady and Reed both picked Atlanta. That run game's going to be tough to stop. Algier and Robinson together, that's going to be
Cordell
me.
Patterson,
Desmond
too.
Ritter probably could be a little better, but honestly, if he's that efficient, 15 of 18 every time, I think with that kind of run style offense, you can't really complain, but he's going to have to throw the ball and be efficient in some of those games.
There's
if they're
a
gonna
lot
be
of
able to-
check downs for him. He's going to have to take chances at some point if they're going to
Yeah.
make a real run, but yeah, that they got some skill position.
Yeah.
Drake London had one catch.
Yeah, and then Kyle Pitts
Kinda
didn't
seems like
catch
they're-
one until like the fourth quarter. It's ridiculous. They have grossly
Kyle
underused.
Pitts did catch a fairly long pass. It was like a 20-yard pass that he
Yeah.
caught, 20-something. It might have even been longer than that.
Kind of seemed like they were just trying to ease Desmond into his first full season and kind of secure a win against
Which
a
is smart.
Panthers team who's looking way worse than I
Well,
thought they'd be.
You'd think like a big tight end like that would be a good security blanket for a young quarterback, but
And
don't know.
I would have thought so too, but yeah, it was nuts. It was a very dry day for the Atlanta Falcons receiving core.
Yeah.
Tough day for fantasy
Yeah.
for those guys, anyone that drafted those players.
Yeah. But anyone who really expected, like, any Atlanta, like, was truly counting on an Atlanta receiver. I mean, I know, Brady, I know you like Drake London, and
He's so
he's talented,
grossly
but I mean, I just don't
underused,
really
man.
feel like the situation.
Yeah.
You could really count on him.
Yeah.
You didn't draft him. Did
No,
you?
I didn't.
No, Jesse did. I
That's
played him
right.
this week.
That's good for Dynasty. If he can get a quarterback to throw him, he's like really talented. But it's kind of like Kyle Pitts.
Or if
too.
Desmond Ritter can just grow.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will. Moving forward, Cincinnati versus Cleveland. Joe Burrow really fucked me in fantasy this week. He
Yeah.
just took it. Yeah, and I can't even put it into words right now. He really screwed me. And the Bengals just did not look very Bengalish. I don't know about my
Bengalish.
AFC prediction. I'm not too worried about it. Joe Burrow didn't play at all in the preseason. He's coming off an injury, and like I've been saying, I think Cleveland is for real. But I did have Cleveland picked in the game though, so I'm happy about that.
Week one's
Cleveland is
so
definitely
weird.
better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, and week one is so weird
Defense is
though
for real.
too. Like
Yeah,
I seen a stat, like not to get too off topic, but like it's the lowest amount of passing touchdowns in week one since 2006. Like last year was 51. I think they only accumulated 36 passing touchdowns for week 1. So it was a really weird week. I'm trying not to take too much into the first game, but I think Cincinnati will bounce back. I think they'll be fine. Cleveland's got a great defense, so they're going to be in games for sure. Deshaun Watson still looks like ass, but it's good enough for them to win, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay that much money for
Yeah.
him, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't think anybody expected him to be great in this first game back either, especially against a team like Cincinnati with a respectable defense.
Well,
Not too many teams
he
expect
played
to
last
roll
year.
over them. So
He's talking about
who played? What?
Deshaun Watson? Yeah, he played last year.
Yeah, I know he played last
I thought
year.
he said his debut or his first game back. I mean, it's been
Like
a full year.
first game, I guess starting the year is what I meant.
Okay.
Like first game of the season, first game back of the
The
year.
dude's
That's
only
kind of
like-
not like first game back from his suspension and everything. No, that's not what I
because
meant.
he's like Patrick Mahomes' age. It's crazy. Like, and he's looking washed, but maybe he
Yeah.
can figure it out. I don't know. But that 2-year layoff really fucked him bad.
Yeah, it sure
And-
did.
Nick
Go
Chubb's
ahead.
still a stud. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he got off to a really hot start and kind of leveled out a little bit as the game went on. But
Still really
Yeah,
good. He was really
he's
good in the
still-
pass catch
he's
game.
that dude.
Just
Yeah, that's what I was about
elite.
to say. He catching some passes, which a lot of people I don't think expected from him. I kind of wanted Nick Chubb. I wasn't sure only just because the age with him falling off, if he would or not, especially being the only back there. I was kind of worried about that. But
Dude,
yeah,
he's a freak.
he's looking good, and he's catching the ball now too. So he's going to be a top end fantasy running back.
And I would
Yeah,
argue
for
he's
sure.
been catching the ball. They just don't target him a bunch. I remember I had him his rookie season, and there
That's
was
fair.
3 separate games where he caught all 3 targets for about 50 yards. And I want to say 1 or 2 of those games was a touchdown on one of those receptions. But I'd have to go back and look for sure.
Yeah, Nick Chubb is a stud. Probably what makes that offense good.
it really
Without him,
does.
yeah,
It sows
I don't
like
know
the
what
pass.
Cleveland would be looking like.
Yeah, it opens the pass game up. So
I do think Deshaun gets it going a little bit more this year, and I think if he just gets it going a little bit more to where he's maybe, can get through the game without turning the ball over, complete a respectable percentage of his passes. I think that's about what the Cleveland
Could
offense
you-
needs with Nick Chubb. They've got
could you
some
imagine if he
talented,
gets back to where he
uh,
was at?
ball catchers there.
Like that dude was
Oh,
knocking
yeah, I
on the
heard
door
some
being
people
a top
on,
5 quarterback in the
The
league
Fantasy
before
Pros
all that shit.
podcast talking about that today. They were like, if Deshaun Watson at any point this year goes back to what he was, the Browns are an instant contender.
Oh, yeah.
With the way their defense looked
Yeah.
yesterday.
That's why I don't buy
and
into
that's
him,
nuts to
man.
think about. And the part of what keeps me still on Watson is that he's still, not only is he capable of running, he still looks to run and likes to run. And I think that's a big part of his game. And I think he can get back to throwing the ball to a decent enough level. As long as he maintains his mobility, I think he can be a pretty good quarterback. But any thoughts on Cincinnati? We kind of talked about Cleveland there.
I expect
Um,
him to come out hot next week.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati will bounce
Against
back.
Baltimore defense. We can kind of get into that.
I think it's
guess,
gonna be
on the
that'll be a
next
good
episode.
game. But yeah, I think Cincinnati. I don't know if they'll win next week. I will get into that in another episode. But their offense and should bounce back and they'll be fine in the long run. Basically, Joe Burrow hadn't played since, or I think he's been out since training camp. So
Yeah, the very beginning of it.
it
Too.
might even
I
take him a
remember
couple
writing it
games
down.
to get back to where they want to be.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But moving forward, AFC South matchup, Jacksonville doing what we all predicted them to do, beating up on Indianapolis. Indianapolis played them a little better than I kind of maybe thought they would, but yeah, Jacksonville looks good. Calvin Ridley, oh my gosh, wow, he's gonna. I was kind of worried about not drafting him because I had a chance to and I passed, and I was like, I might regret that because I've drafted Calvin Ridley every year that I've played fantasy football that he's been available, and I was like, this is gonna be the first year, and I was like, it's gonna be a chance not to do it, and sure enough, I was right, and he looks like wide receiver 1 for sure.
Oh yeah, he's explosive. So yeah, Jacksonville.
One thing that really surprised me was Anthony Richardson looking a lot better than I thought he would.
Same, yeah.
Completed a
Yeah.
good chunk of his passes and was elusive. Getting hurt at the end of the game kind of sucked.
It was
but
mostly to the right side of the
I,
field.
I
but-
knew, I was about to say, I knew there had to be something up about that game because he played so well. And like you just noted, he threw pretty much to just the right side of the field all game.
Yeah, it was like half field reads, but he did a good job of what he was asked to do while they progressed him along until he could make full reads. He's an explosive athlete. They should win him some games. He's got a bright future, but Jacksonville is a pretty damn good team, and I think they're gonna make some noise.
Yeah, the pretty much the only other thing I want to add to really either of these teams is that on the Sunday episode, I said something about thinking Michael Pittman is maybe just a little overrated, respectfully, but he looked pretty good, and especially with Anthony Richardson, he had a couple of nice plays. I think he had like 4 or 5 catches,
I don't-
good chunk of yards.
I don't-
Pretty sure he had a touchdown too.
I don't know if you can call
Didn't he?
him overrated for as good of a receiver he is for a third or 4th round pick. Like, not too bad.
I mean, at a certain point in a career, I kind of, per se, I feel like any people kind of stop paying
I think he's-
attention to what kind of, like, where they were drafted as far as,
I
like,
think
if
he's
they're
still on his
overrated or
rookie deal
underrated.
right now. But yeah, I
Is
mean,
he?
yeah, and God, how many I think he's had a new quarterback every year throwing to him. So, shit, dude. I mean, it'd be really hard to build chemistry when you have like Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers, who are washed quarterbacks at this point. Carson Wentz.
I mean, Phillip Rivers took him to the playoffs. I wouldn't say he was washed.
I mean,
Not like Matt Ryan was.
Fair enough, but
Didn't they make it to the playoffs
Not like-
with Wentz too?
Yeah.
no, I don't think they won in the playoffs. I think they got
Uh,
passed.
I don't.
Well, no, I
don't
meant like
think
made
so.
it.
I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying was I did want to come back on this episode and say I got to put a little more respect on his name when I'm talking about him for sure.
I don't know.
Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to say.
Just to add on Michael Pittman, so he was hurt mostly in his rookie year. He only played a game. So second year, he caught 99 catches for 925 yards, and then last year it was. I'm sorry, the year before that was 88, 1,000 yards, and then I think he got hurt again last year. So yeah, he did have a down year last year. So I guess I can see why he might be overrated. He is a little injury prone, but I guess when he's healthy, he's pretty good. But
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Two other things I did want to just note about this game. I'm pretty sure Richardson did get a little banged up at the end of
yeah,
that
I think
game.
he got a knee in the head.
I'm
or
pretty sure
something.
he's all right, but that's not a good sign. Like, first game, mobile quarterback. I just don't feel like that's a good sign. Maybe
I think it was
maybe
stupid
I'm
on the
completely
coaches
wrong.
because I think they put him in a game that was already over in a situation that he shouldn't have been in. But I think both
True.
both sides are guilty.
Just
of
something to
that.
keep an eye on, though,
Yeah,
too, for sure.
absolutely.
Especially as the year goes.
He's
It
a-
could be something that lingers, maybe.
He is a big individual, so hopefully he's not a recurring issue of injuries. But yeah, we'll see.
And the one last thing I did, just kind of a little random thing about this game, the fumble return from Trevor that they recovered in return for a touchdown. When the play was like dead like that and everyone was just kind of standing around, every time I see a play like that, I've always wondered if that's like if like refs like kind of like daydream about that. It maybe not like a ref's dream, but like maybe like a daydream, just like thinking about how they're gonna like what face they're gonna make at a player or something like that when the player gives them a dumb look. Like, is the ball still alive? Like, did I blow the whistle? I don't know. Just like kind of what the refs think about
Yeah.
when when everyone's just standing around looking dumb like that, and the ball's live, and then one guy
That is
just
something to think
like,
about.
oh hey, I think the ball's still live, scoops it up and takes off. Those plays always crack me up.
Yeah.
I just wonder what goes through the ref's head too.
Gotta just be robotic, I guess. You can't really give a facial expression like, yeah, I didn't blow the whistle. Like, you play till the whistle's dead.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's
But
something to think about. I never really thought
I just
about that.
always wonder like from the ref's perspective, like what those plays are like. 'Cause I know as the player, like you practice stuff like that in drills, even just like little league football. You know,
Yeah.
Practicing if the ball is like dead or alive. You know, you gotta be aware about that. But yeah, I thought that was funny, and I plays like that crack me up. But all right, I think unless you guys have any other thoughts, we'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back with Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. All right, and we're back. We're going to jump into Minnesota and Tampa Bay. I'm going to let you guys start this one.
Go ahead, Reed.
All right, well, obviously I picked the Vikings. They lost. It felt like a super winnable game, besides a couple of the turnovers and penalties. Really, it felt like the Vikings beat themselves. The defense was probably the brightest spot, only allowed 246 yards. Scheme looking pretty solid. I don't know why Flores let off on blitzing in the second half so much on third down, because we were making him three and out, one after another, having success on the blitz on third. I know it's a lot of energy. Yeah. Yeah, you think them running in the second half kind of changed it?
Yeah.
Going run heavy? Yeah. It was tough pill to swallow, tough game to watch at the end there, just knowing that it was on their fingertips and just silly penalties and turnovers. Jay Ward being lined up off sides. Eddie Ingram forcing the fumble on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
It's
So I got a
mixture of things.
a couple, just quick take. I'll save the hot take for tomorrow, but couple quick things on the game. I also had the Vikings winning this game. Should have been you would think a comfortable win. Shot themselves in the foot, like Reed said. The defense actually looked promising under Flores. They weren't a sieve like they were last year, giving up, yardage. One thing that's really concerning for me is their predictability on offense and just how they disappear for half the game still. Yeah, pretty disappointing loss for sure. Don't really have much else to say on that. The Bucks played, they had a good game plan. They blitzed Cousins with their poor O-line, and they ran the ball. Just did enough to win. Capitalize on the mistakes that they made, and they deserve to win.
Yeah, the interior defensive line is definitely the weak spot on that defense. Is what it seemed like, but I mean, still they only rushed for 73 yards, I think.
Pretty salty that our old GM drafted a cornerback that's not even in the league anymore over Antoine Winfield Jr., but yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah, I
have
was
loved to
upset
see him
about
purple and
Considering
gold.
the history and his dad being a legendary Viking, yeah, whatever.
And he's also a beast himself,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
insane.
He said he wants to wear purple and gold. I think he might try next contract. At least I hope so.
By the time he probably comes, he's going to be like Patrick Peterson, way past his prime, and it's just going to be like, you wish you would have got him.
Well, how old is he right now? He's not that old.
I'm just saying, he's probably going to sign another contract.
And a lot of those guys that are really good like that transition over to safety. And
I think
do
he
really
is a
well there, like
safety.
a Devin McCourty. Oh, I thought he played corner. too.
He's a fucking free-flying safety, man. Just
He's
hitting
25.
people. Yeah.
You could definitely get him plenty of time. Because Patrick Peterson, he started a cornerback and then he turned into a safety.
No, he played corner. Still does. Yeah, he was our...
Oh, is he still a corner?
Yeah, he plays for Pittsburgh. He gave up 2 TDs yesterday. All the Vikings...
He plays some safety sometimes,
So
doesn't
Winfield, Antoine Winfield
Winfield
Jr. is Justin
Maybe I'm thinking
Jefferson's
of
draft
someone else.
class.
I know Winfield might play some slot corner too, because some safeties can, but predominantly just a safety.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to add on to this game. Your guys' team, the Vikings, was the first team to screw us in the ZBR parlay, along with the Seahawks.
It ruined Carson's last leg of his parlay.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. It probably ruined a lot of parlays.
one thing I will add,
Mike Evans started his fuck you tour, and it might be a rough year for you guys.
one thing I will add,
I don't think so.
is the Vikings averaged the second most yards per play in week 1, and it was like next to the 49ers or something. And it's just the 3 turnovers, you shoot yourself. I'm not making excuses, but I also have hot takes for tomorrow about the team. Very disappointed. Yeah, like you said, Zach, it could be a very rough year. Very, very rough year, considering what the schedule looks like. I think we have like the 3rd or 4th
Absolutely.
hardest schedule. I think I sent that to Reed earlier. It's yeah.
It is still early though. It's just week 1.
What I'm saying is we could be staring at 1-6.
It
in
could
the
also
face.
not be a bad year.
Yeah, we'll see. It is
We will
week 1.
see.
Week 1's weird, but yeah, we'll
Yeah.
save our overreaction hot takes.
I'll be giving you guys a lot of shit about the Vikings, but low key, I'll be rooting for you because
You
I
know,
would love to see the Vikings be good.
It's just like if we're either really good, that'd be fine. But I don't want to be in the middle. Like if we're gonna be bad, fucking just be bad. Get a good draft pick.
Yeah,
For
It would
Christ's
be
sake.
such a Vikings thing to do to be middle.
I know. Like I'm sick of that shit. I want to be in position to draft a quarterback in the future if we're dog shit or not in contention. So like it's crazy. These first 5-6 games are gonna say a lot about the Vikings and how their season will play out. It's really tough. You got the Eagles, Chargers, and Chiefs coming up. Whew.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not easy.
Nope.
For sure,
For sure. But we can move on to the next matchup.
Yeah, which would be Tennessee versus New Orleans. I took an L on the day with Tennessee. It was fairly close though. One more field goal and I might have won. Brady and Reed got the dub with New Orleans. My man Rashid Shaheed went off low key, looking like a great
On the
value
bench.
pick.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
on the bench. Yeah, exactly.
This
Yeah,
is
sitting on my
probably-
bench. Exactly.
This is probably like the
So as
most
soon as I start him,
boring game
he'll
of the
score like
week.
5 points.
I would.
What's
I
that?
think this is probably the most boring game of the week. Really, like just 2 teams that were just probably maybe not boring, but just sloppy. 16-15 type.
Yeah.
Of just like a
That was-
ugly,
You could probably
the
definitely
like a
say
lot of
sloppiest
games.
game of the week.
the ugliest game.
It's definitely got a case for that.
Yeah.
Although, without fast forwarding too much, I think the Giants as a whole might just take credit for sloppiest game of the week. More credit than any teams can take combined.
Dude, Cowboys
But,
have a knack of just blowing the fuck out of teams, dude. Like I'm jealous. Like 40-0,
Yeah,
43.
but that blowout was historic though.
Dude,
that
it's-
was crazy.
Cowboys are loaded.
But getting back
dude.
to Tennessee versus New Orleans though, 5 field goals is crazy. First off, and is why I went and picked up Tennessee's kicker
Smart move,
because I feel like they'll probably be in a similar situation throughout a lot of the year. Looking at the way that game went, I can definitely see the Titans maybe continuing to have some trouble moving the ball. Also, any league listeners, shout out for listening first of all if you're in the league. But also if you want Traylon Burks, get at me. Yeah, I just after seeing that, I don't know about Tennessee, and I think you guys were probably looking to maybe be a bit more right about Tennessee than I was. I wanted to back Vrabel because he's a good coach and because he's a Patriot too, but that was not a good look offense, and the defense wasn't particularly special either.
They're in for a rough year.
Yeah, yeah, they are. But going back to the kicker, the reason I picked him up is they're obviously going to move the ball sometimes with Derrick Henry because he looks like Derrick Henry.
Yo, he's one of those Bogal backs that are one of the last.
Yeah.
One of the last few.
So I could just see them getting the ball down the field a lot and then just not capitalizing by just not having a good passing game and having to settle for a field goal. And with the way the Broncos, we'll get to them, but with Will Lutz and the Broncos, yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna play that game with y'all this year. I'm not even gonna. What's that Takashi 6ix9ine meme, like, stupid? I'm not gonna let you get that chance. Like week
Yeah.
2, hell no. Get the fuck out of here, Will Lutz. What did you think about this game? Reed, any thoughts at all?
Pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
Chris Olave getting over 100 receiving was nice.
Mhm.
I kind of predicted him having a pretty good year with Derek Carr. I think they'll get that figured out, and the offense is gonna start gelling. And a lot of these games felt really sloppy. I think that's just cause and effect of starters not playing any amount of preseason snaps.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a different amount of pressure between going through reps in practice and even being out in a preseason game in front of some fans.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. I know Nick Sirianni after the Eagles game said something about he kind of wished maybe they'd have played the starters just a tad bit, like in the preseason, just to get their feet wet a little more or something like that.
So.
Yeah, the preseason's there for a reason. I get people don't want to get hurt, especially with the way injuries are so crazy these days, and people also want to scout out what they got in their bench players, but it was also there to like warm players up to the season, not just for checking out new players.
Especially the last game,
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought I would've
the
seen some
first
more
couple
starters.
games, I can see no starters, just running your benches out, seeing what you got, and then last game, like, work them in with your starters, see what you got, see what they look like with the starters, like, and let your starters get their feet wet. I don't know, I'm not an NFL coach, and
Yeah,
most of the teams
that
that
doesn't
don't
sound
play
too
their
bad.
starters are perennial playoff teams and contenders, so they probably know something that we don't, but yeah, I would think they should play their starters in preseason. Moving forward, San Francisco versus Pittsburgh. San Francisco whooping that ass. Brady took an L. He took a chance on Pittsburgh.
Should have done that.
Reed and I both played it safe, and playing it safe indeed it was. Any safe about or any questions about Brock Purdy that there were? I don't know if you'd say they're gone, but he looked pretty good, and he looks like he's the starting
Yeah.
quarterback, and he's going to be.
San
gonna
Francisco
be totally fine.
is exactly who I thought they were.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
A
Brock
loaded
Purdy
team,
anymore. He'll be
yes.
fine.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, yeah. San Francisco,
They're the Super Bowl favorites in my opinion.
business as usual, should contend this year and just be pretty damn good and be hard on teams.
Yep. Just physically dominant.
Yeah, and George Kittle wasn't even crazy involved either, and they still
Oh
looked
yeah.
real nice. So, good thing you got Sam Laporta.
Yeah, I played him since they said he wasn't going to play. Well, I was like, crap, my backup plays on Thursday. I got to put him in just in case, and he actually outperformed him
Yeah,
by 4 points. So I was pleasantly surprised. I was worried
Yeah,
because
I
he
mean,
started
Sam-
off catching 3 of 3 for 19 yards. I was like, oh no.
I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't say anything about him during when we talked about Detroit versus Kansas City. But yeah, Laporta looks like he'll be probably a decent NFL tight end. I don't want to overreact too much to a Week 1 game, but he looks like he'll be pretty serviceable.
Yep, something about those
Which for a
Iowa
rookie is-
Hawkeye tight ends.
Yeah. Which a rookie tight end you can only ask so much out of anyways. So good for Detroit right there. Yeah, but back to San Francisco and Pittsburgh. Not a lot else to say. Do you have anything to add on to that game, Brady?
Not really. I think Pittsburgh will bounce back. It's just they just face a really, really tough team. In my opinion,
Yeah,
the Super
Week
Bowl
1.
favorites. Yeah, they'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about Pittsburgh either. Moving forward, Arizona versus Washington. Not a lot to say about this game.
No, not really.
Both teams aren't very good. Arizona is pretty much as bad as we thought they were.
Did you have a fire in
The
your
2K
gut?
player quarterback is not impressive and probably not going to surprise anybody. What's his name? What Dobbs? Isn't that his last name?
Joshua
Joshua
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
Something like that.
Joshua Dobbs. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised they kept the score as close as they did, but, yeah, just not impressed by
They're
either
two
team.
dog shit teams.
But we all did hit on that leg of the parlay,
Yeah.
so that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, two dog shit teams. Not a lot, much else to talk about there. Do you guys want to say
I-
anything about either one of those teams?
I would say I was worried the Cardinals were going to win there for a second when it was 13-3, but they are terrible, and like I said, they're tanking, so they shouldn't be winning a lot of games this year.
Yup. All right, well, I think we'll go ahead and go into break, and we'll come back with Houston versus Baltimore. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to go ahead and start with Houston versus Baltimore. Versus Baltimore. Another ZBR special right there. This leg of the parlay did hit. Not a lot to say about this game. Baltimore looking pretty good. Defense looks nice. Offense looks about what we expected. Well-coached team. They should be pretty good. And Houston might surprise some people, like Reed said. Reed might be right about the Texans. Their defense might surprise some people a little bit, but at the end of the day, it probably still won't be a very good team.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think they're very good. Yeah, Baltimore looked good. I think Lamar was a little rusty. They could be better for sure. They're going to be a solid team. I don't know if they're going to be a contender. I think they need to see a little bit more. But, yeah, they're going to be a tough out for anyone.
Been trying to tell everyone that Zay Flower is going to be wide receiver 1.
Yep, I knew that was coming. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for
Yeah.
that shit right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's
And
hear
it
I
doesn't
told you
help
so.
who else they have on the roster. Like that, he's really only competing with Odell Beckham, and he's kind of
Did he even catch anything?
a lot of injuries. I don't think so. I'm not even sure if he played really.
I don't think so either.
I would
if
have
he'd
to
have caught
take
one
a quick
pass,
look.
everything on Twitter and fucking social media would have been Odell,
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
two-
He's back.
2 receptions for 37
did.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not more tweets going on about Odell.
Yeah.
But that's realistically probably about what I'd expect out of him. Honestly, a couple catches.
Lamar only had like 16 completions, and Zay Flowers caught about 9 of them out of 10 targets.
Yeah. He looks like he's going to be a problem. And you have both the Zays on your team, and they both look really good.
Yeah, I
and
should have
they're
played
both going to be
Jones,
big parts of their
yeah.
offenses. Yep. So, about as we expected. Let's go ahead and move forward. Green Bay versus Chicago. Brady was the only one on Green Bay drinking whatever
Eating the
Green
cheese.
Bay fans drink.
Eating the
I know
cheese.
Vikings fans drink purple Kool-Aid. They eat the cheese? Yeah, they eat the cheese. There you go. Yeah, Brady's eating the cheese.
Mhm.
The sharp cheddar.
Yes, sir.
Whole blocks of it.
Yeah.
That might be a bit extreme.
Yeah,
but
that's a big extreme.
yeah, they looked like a well put together team. Just like as a whole, just a very cohesive group as a football team. Chicago, I would say, pretty much exactly. I don't really know too much about what you guys thought about Chicago was, but I know Chicago is exactly what I thought that they were. Not that good on defense and completely reliant on Justin Fields running the ball because he's still not looking that good throwing it.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't help they didn't throw the ball very far at all
Yeah.
the whole game.
What's that?
Terrible
They
game
hate
plan.
to-
They didn't throw it very far the whole game.
Yeah.
They're all short passes.
Yeah, dude,
I'm glad I did not buy into the DJ Moore stock.
No, God, no. Yeah, like I was saying to you guys, man, Green Bay is not going to be dog shit. They might not be like a playoff team. They should be pushing fringe playoff. They could sneak in,
Yeah.
but no, they got a solid team, man. Like they could throw any quarterback in there, and they're gonna win still 7-8 games. And Jordan Love actually looked decent. I mean, he's not.
Yeah, he
elite,
didn't look
but-
terrible. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah, he got the
he
job
looked like
done.
an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, they're not going to be an easy out for anyone. In
Yeah,
our division,
definitely
anyways.
not.
So
Yeah.
Chicago is who I thought they were as
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields is not a good quarterback. I don't think he ever will be. I think he's just a bona fide runner at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he would have been real nice in the Wildcat offense.
yeah, He just doesn't have.
when that was a thing for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
The last
They'll
thing I want to
probably
add about the Bears is a lot of Bears fans were talking a lot of smack this offseason.
They always do.
Justin Fields MVP and all this crazy nonsense, and seeing how game 1 went made me happy for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely
by
definitely
Jordan
enjoyed
Love.
that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see that's one of my favorite parts about you guys both being Vikings fans is that we can all just share a very deep mutual hate for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
There's just no love lost there.
I don't know who I
amongst
hate
any of us.
more between Green Bay and Chicago, but
Bears.
I would the Bears
Yeah,
for
the
you.
Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Green
I
Bay
just
only
feel
for
like I
me
can
because
respect
of
Green Bay.
the
Here's the
quarterback
thing.
play.
here's the thing: like we beat Chicago regularly, so it's
Yeah.
I don't really have much. I fucking hate them, obviously, but Green Bay, they've dominated for a long time, so I think I hate them just a little bit more. But I think Chicago fans are more annoying. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I hate
No,
Green
I
Bay
hate
more,
the
but their
Packers
fans
because
are
of the
more
greatness in the division. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Bears, like the way the players act, like beaten by 3 scores, and they
Yeah.
get a sack on a 3rd and whatever to make us punt it, and there's like 6 minutes left in the game, down 3 scores, and acting like they've just
They're
won the
shit
game.
talkers,
Really,
that's for
really
sure.
grinds my gears.
If they didn't win one Super Bowl with Ditka in '85, they would be a dog shit franchise. But they got a Super Bowl, so they have that over us. Like, at the end of the day, can't really say.
Yeah.
too much.
At the end of the day, they got Walter Payton and some all-time defenses. Other than that, it's just a dog
Arguably
shit
the
franchise.
best defense of all time. That was
Yeah.
a ridiculous
Yeah.
defense.
And that's about all they can hang on to. The last thing I want to add to this game is a verbal meme. It's that dude from, I'm pretty sure it's Parks and Rec, it might be The Office. He's like looking through the blinds in The Office, and he's just kind of got that like creepy smile like on his face or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
And I just see like Packers making that face when they see that they're still beating Chicago even without Aaron Rodgers. It's just like, we still own you guys. This is great.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, fuck Chicago.
I thought that was funny. Yeah, exactly. Fuck Chicago. And I can respect Green Bay being minority owned, probably the smallest market in all of major sports. Maybe there might be another team out there that I'm spacing on, but off the top of my head, probably the smallest market there is. So always a little bit of respect there for me, even though I don't really like them.
You have to respect.
But absolutely. Moving on to Las Vegas versus Denver. I swayed Brady into Las Vegas on this one. You're welcome. Reed, you should have hopped on the bandwagon too. Jimmy G did pretty much exactly what I said. I guess this game went pretty much exactly the way I said it would go on the Sunday episode. The only difference was I said it would be like 31-34, I think.
Mhm.
And that was about the score, but it was the exact same type of game, just a different score, much more low score.
Look like a genius drafting Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Dude's gonna be a monster
Well,
in that offense, dude. Getting so many.
Jimmy's gonna
targets.
throw it 5 to 8 yards a play, so gotta have that slot guy.
Dude, he's fucking tall
Yeah.
too. Like he's not a small
Yeah,
receiver for sure.
Jacoby's just a nice target. We really shouldn't have gotten rid of him. Him and Kendrick Bourne would have been a great combination this year. Now that we actually have an offensive coordinator, but I'll save those thoughts for later.
Denver's offense.
Yeah, Las
was,
Vegas offense showed some flashes. Like they might be pretty good this year if they can get a little cohesiveness going, get a little bit of footing going underneath them. They might be a little frisky, and as far as Denver goes, it looks like it's back to betting Denver unders all year again.
Yeah, their offense looks like a sieve again. I don't think Sean Payton's gonna make much of a difference. They got no one to throw to, and Russ is just aging rapidly. So I don't know.
And you want to know what's going to be hilarious? And Brady, I know you're going to love this as a Sean Payton hater.
Yep.
Is that imagine the memes and all the talk about Sean Payton if he doesn't make this team better than what Nathaniel Hackett had this year. If this team isn't any better after the things he said about Nathaniel Hackett and the way he talked about him, if he doesn't if he doesn't substantially improve, he can't just like improve a little bit and get away with it. He's got to substantially improve this team and make them like at least like a 500 team.
If they're a 4 or 5,
or he is going to get torn apart, and I mean torn apart online.
If they're a 4 or 5 win team, that might be just as satisfying as watching the Vikings appear in a Super Bowl. Because fuck Sean Payton. Talking shit on Nate Hackett, which I'm not a Nate Hackett supporter, but fuck Sean Payton and everything he stands for.
Yeah, I was gonna
He's
say,
a piece of shit.
anyone can't tell, Brady does not like Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which as a Vikings fan, I think is fair enough with all the boundary stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't, but
Brady has definitely
not that
not
much.
let up on the grudge at all.
Dude, that's the most painful sports memory in my life, man. Fuck Sean Payton, dude.
Yeah.
I will, no. Watching him fail.
No, I feel you. Fuck David Tyree, but
Yeah,
I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, but yeah.
Years, I think it's more fair to say fuck him, though, because that dude was actually, like, David Tyrese was kind of more just, like, crazy lucky. I can't really, like, say fuck him for that.
Yeah.
Sean Payton was being a shitbag.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
I hope that shitbag wins
It's
like
definitely
5
fair
games.
to say fuck him.
Yeah.
Was that before or after they won a Super Bowl?
That was the year they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was
Makes
the
sense.
NFC Championship game.
Okay.
And
Yeah, it was an NFC Championship game. I guess they didn't make that many Super Bowls.
That was the Super Bowl, basically. Those were the 2 best teams. Whatever team came out, we're gonna dog stomp the Colts, and that's what the Saints did. And the Vikings
Yeah,
would have did
the
the
Andrew
same
Luck
thing,
Colts,
dude.
right?
No, that was Peyton Manning.
Was that Peyton? How far back ago was that?
2009.
09.
I was 15.
Was that 2009? Okay.
Yeah, I remember that game vividly.
Yeah, Zach, we would have been freshmen in high school.
Oh,
Yep.
painful, dude. So fucking painful. God damn it, dude. I can't even stomach watching like highlights of that game because it just makes me sick, dude. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
It really does. Like I've seen like a lot of my teams. I've seen North Carolina lose in a game-winning shot to Villanova. That one stung, but nothing stings more than that game, dude. Because that was a Super Bowl team, and not seeing them cash in. Like, I think a Super Bowl title would mean the most for sure out of all my like teams that could possibly win a championship. Maybe
As
not.
a sports fan who's been lucky enough to see all 3 of like my professional teams win a title, the Super Bowl is definitely the most satisfying.
Absolutely.
I would say World Series is probably second, then NBA Finals for me personally.
Yeah, World Series.
And the
is
World
fucking
Series,
awesome.
the World Series for me, part of that was probably the Celtics, or not the Celtics, the Red Sox had a historic drought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing the Royals win
And
the
just
World
kind of
Series
some
was
magical
awesome.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was special.
Going back to Las Vegas versus Denver, though, yeah, I think both teams won't be that great, but I think there's a good chance Las Vegas might even end up being better.
Yeah.
Being a better team. Go ahead and move forward to Philadelphia in New England. They honored Tom Brady at this game. I'm still not sure if they retired his number or not. Exactly what they did. I know they honored him. I don't know what they did to
I
honor
think they
him.
put him in like their
All I really
three
saw from it
hours.
was he did like a quick jog out on the field, like a show dog, and
The
like
Patriots
ran
Hall
back
of
off the
Fame.
field. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was cool. He was there. I did see he gave a little speech. That was neat. As far as the game actually went, low-key, I'm pretty proud of my Patriots.
They fought hard, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't really ask for much more. If we don't shoot ourselves in the foot twice there to start the game, at the very beginning of the game, we there's a good chance we win that game. And maybe even by, like, 7 points. Like, because it was 26-25, right?
It was 25-20.
25-20.
They had a chance to score a touchdown. They had the ball late, but they just couldn't cash in. I think
Yeah.
pass, I think he didn't get both feet down, which would have converted in the red zone. And yeah. Yeah, they fought to
But,
the end.
yeah.
It was competitive.
Yeah, and I like the way our offense looks. It already looks leaps and bounds better than the Matt Patricia offense. Fuck Matt Patricia. Yeah, that dude didn't really cost us anything last year, but just made us look really fucking stupid. Make Mac Jones look terrible. Probably took some
Well, what's Bill thinking?
maybe some potential away from him. He made Bill Belichick look dumb. And maybe Bill Belichick was a little dumb for making him offensive coordinator. But yeah, it just already looked a lot better. Mac looked a lot better. Bourne looked like Patriot Nation has been kind of counting on Kendrick Bourne to show up as a wide receiver one, like every other wide receiver we draft that doesn't pan out. But it looked like Sunday he might have like arrived and like said like, you know, this is my coming out year, like maybe he won't ascend all the way to like a true wide receiver one status this year, but makes his case that like, hey, I'm on the track and I'll be there at some point next year or something like that. Because he has the makings for it. Juju didn't look terrible. Caught some balls. Hunter Henry looked good. He looked pretty damn good actually. Mike Gesicki didn't look bad. He caught a couple of passes. Zeke had a run or two that looked like, okay, Zeke, I see you. It might have just been one run that was like good, but didn't hate Zeke's involvement. He was better than I would have thought. Defense looks good. We don't even have our best corner yet. Yeah, I'm tough loss, but walking away from it, optimistic about it, especially against like the Super Bowl runner-ups, potentially one of the best teams. Potentially the best team in the NFC. That, you know, San Francisco's got something to say about that, but the Eagles certainly still have something to say about it too. So I'm pretty optimistic coming off this game, and without going into the Jets and Buffalo too much, just with everything that transpired in that game, kind of gives me some hope that not yet. I'm not gonna hop on the bandwagon yet that like potentially we could sneak in on a wild card or something, but it gives me more hope than I had for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, your defenses are always good, so they're going to keep you in games, and Mac Jones can just take a next step and be a good game managing quarterback. I think they could make the playoffs. I think the Bills are
Christian Gonzalez looked like a
good.
stud.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the Eagles are. Yeah, they looked a little sloppy. I don't know if they're gonna be as good as this year.
They didn't play starters at all in the preseason, which I did mean to say part of that too. I do kind of got to factor that into my optimism, is that
almost
these starters didn't
team
play at all.
does
They were
that
coming a little
too.
rusty. Even the coach was a little concerned about it too.
Minnesota
post-game,
doesn't
so.
do that. Rams don't do that. There's a lot of teams that don't do that. So I don't really put much into that at all. That's their own choice. If they want to do that, they could. That's not an excuse for me. You lost or you won. You can be sloppy, but no, I don't take much into that. Like, I'm not blaming Minnesota. The reason they lost because they don't play any starters. They just flat out lost. They had all season or off season prepare for Tampa Bay. You know, shit the bed. So no excuses in my opinion.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this game?
I don't think so. I think the like you said, the Patriots look promising actually. So we'll see.
Yeah, Mac Jones year 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Well, I think we'll actually probably go ahead and take a break right here then, and then we'll come back for the last section and finish up with the last 4 games. All right, and welcome back into ZBR. All right, welcome back into ZBR. We're back here with Miami versus Chargers. Oh yeah. I'm the only one that took a W in this game. I took Miami. You guys were on the Chargers. In my opinion, I don't really have a ton to say about this game. really just two things. Both teams are exactly who I thought they were, and Tua looks really fucking good.
Yeah, when he's healthy and on, man. Like, do you pay him because like he got drafted in the same draft as Burrow and Herbert, and they got massive contracts? So that'll be interesting.
I mean, if he keeps playing like that, they're not going to have much of a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, they got him for this year. He's not going to just start holding out mid-season or anything like that. At least I don't think so. But this coming offseason, they're probably going to have to. Yeah, they're probably going to have to.
I
Get
think
to work
if he
on
can
that.
stay healthy, I would feel good about signing him. He's proved that he can just ball out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if he's healthy through the year, yeah, plays every game, takes most of the snaps, he should definitely get a nice deal. I doubt he ends up highest paid quarterback like Joe Burrow and stuff. Well, actually,
Maybe not with a guarantee,
He
but
might.
he might get like
He
a nice big contract.
yeah,
Maybe
he
with
might just
incentives.
because that's the way it is. You make the quarterback.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time you extend a quarterback, you got to make him the highest paid guy, even if he's not close to being the best QB in the league.
Nope, just got to be top 10.
Yup.
Yeah.
All you got to be.
G Candy. He's so happy.
Oh yeah, he can be top 5.
That's
I think
a stretch.
Tua for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he could. I don't know if he will, but time will tell.
Uh,
Good Lord, Tyreek
But
Hill.
two explosive offenses,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yup.
Not much defense
Yeah.
played in this game.
Uh-uh.
I think the Chargers will be a fringe playoff team, maybe not quite there, but they're gonna score some points on people. Their defense won't be able to stop anyone. So
Yeah, the
they'll be
Chargers
looking at a lot
gifting
of
the
shootouts.
Chargers gifting Dolphins a field goal before half really killed them. I think losing by 2 points.
Yeah.
Hindsight's always 20/20, but I felt like a few different plays Chargers just kind of gave the Dolphins this game.
Yeah.
Both teams are really good, so I'm not surprised Dolphins did manage to pull out the W.
Yeah, I definitely think Miami's the better team and will be the better team at the end of the year.
I
For sure.
agree.
Chargers gonna
Oh.
Charger.
Yeah, I will add one last thing. I did pick up and drop their second tight end, and the reason I did that is he caught that touchdown, and because Gerald Everett isn't exactly, he's not a tight end one. He's not a tight end that like that. He's guaranteed to be. He's not George Kittle, Kelsey Andrews, where he can have a couple of bad games and his job's still secure. If Everett falls off and Parham, I think is his name, is balling out
Yeah.
behind him, Everett's probably losing his
Yeah.
job. And so I picked him up because of that. And also because the motherfucker is 6'8".
Yeah,
Jesus.
he's a big
Yeah,
red zone
he's-
threat.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
LeBron out there.
But I just, until that really becomes a thing and he actually starts getting targets, I just don't really feel like that's probably going to be any kind of real consistent production at tight end. And I do feel like the reason I guess without going too far into my fantasy stuff, the reason I picked up Hunter Henry is I feel like he'll probably end up being the second or third target in New England, probably behind Bourne. But moving on from this game over to the Rams versus the Seahawks. This is where the last leg of the ZBR parlay blew out. If the Vikings hadn't have fucked us, Seattle was gonna us. We were all on Seattle. And they kind of came out okay. But I know they lost a couple of offensive linemen, and I don't think they had even 100 total yards of offense in the second half. That's not good. And I guess before I say anything else, I need to slow way the fuck down and put all the respect on Matt Stafford's name. All leading up in every episode we've done so far, I've been saying, well, I don't know what Matt Stafford's got in the tank. He's probably just going to fall apart, blah, blah, blah. Like, apparently I just need to shut up. Like, Matt Stafford looks just fine. Making these younger wide receivers look like, top fantasy options.
Bounce
Look like
back season
big
for the
season
Rams.
pros. Huh?
Yeah, that's good to see.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Rams could
Yeah,
make some
Stafford's the
noise.
guy
I
you
don't
got to
know if he
root
could
for.
be elite, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's also not surprising though too. really shouldn't have ever gone against the trend. Like, I think Pete Carroll's got like one win against Sean McVay since Sean McVay got to the NFL, maybe two. Sean McVay just has Pete's number. Yeah, so probably should just gone with it there. Reed, how are you feeling about these teams?
Well, bad about my pick. I picked the Seahawks. What? It's just tough because I've got the Seahawks going like 14-3. Their line taking the hits they took, and just seeing what I saw on the field, man, it's gonna be a tough year. They're gonna definitely start slow. Rams look good.
Their offensive line. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Rams wide receiving core stepped up a lot in Cooper Kupp's absence, and I think it showed a couple guys that probably could be mainstays on the team, or at least still get a good amount of targets when Kupp comes back.
Yeah, it makes me very optimistic, though, when Kupp does come back, that he's going to have a capable quarterback feeding him the ball. So
return to form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be just fine. I actually like that he went on IR and not, like, doing it week to week, just get healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you a roster spot.
Yeah.
You know, he's healthy. Absolutely. All I was gonna say was their offensive line was already projected to be like one of the like bottom 3 in the league, and I'm pretty sure both the offensive line injuries they had were tackle. I'm not sure if it was right or left tackle, but either way, getting 2 tackle injuries that they weren't able to come back into the game from. I don't know what their status is going forward, but that's not a good start. For an offensive line that was already probably going to suck, and now you're going to the bench. Not ideal at all.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go ahead and move on to Sunday night. There's probably a lot you could say about this game, but I don't know what you really need to say about Dallas versus the Giants, because holy shit.
I think everybody knows about that game by this point.
What's that, Reed?
I said I think everybody knows about that game at this point, so I don't need to say too much about it other than holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Historically, bad night for the Giants. I guess, yeah, like you said. Go ahead.
I think they had like 3 stats, like for a team that accomplished something in a season.
Yeah, that's really exactly the stat I'm thinking of too. Yeah. It was no team is allowed like a certain length, like a 90-yard return, field goal return, or some shit like that.
Field block.
Lost 40-0 or worse. And then I think the other one was maybe yards related. Or something like that. I don't know. And then there was something interception. There was like 4 stats on the graphic.
Yeah.
Total stats. It was like 4 or 5 stats, and it was just like crazy. Like no teams like.
In one night.
Yeah, and just truly a historically bad night, and it's so bad that I don't even know what you can take away from the game, because I don't think you can't. Yeah, I don't think you can count on the Giants to. You definitely can't count on the Giants to be that bad week in, week out.
Watch the film. You just like, all right, just scrap that.
Yeah. And then, as far as Dallas goes, like, what do you really take away from them when you catch a team like that? When you're already a good team and you catch a team that maybe wasn't already the best team, but just on the absolute on the best night for Dallas, I guess, that they could have caught them, and just
Dallas is really good. I don't know how good yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, if Dallas is that good all year, holy cow. Wow.
If they can do that, then like lose to like
Super Bowl bound.
The Bears the next week. They did that last year. They beat the brakes off Minnesota. Then like they dropped a game against like the Texans or some shit. That's just what the Cowboys do.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
Dallas
trust them
Dallas
until like I see them do it. They're really, really talented though.
Yeah. I'll say as far as regular season goes, I'm not 100% on the Dallas. I don't want to call it bandwagon because I'm not like rooting for them to be good, but just like the gravy train of they're probably gonna be really fucking dominant. I think at least for the regular season, I'm gonna hop on that. I won't buy into anything come playoff time until they win a playoff game. If they win a playoff game, I might hop on then. But yeah, Dallas looks like they could be really, really scary. Any other thoughts? Reed, never mind. Going forward to Buffalo versus New York. Yeah, Brady holding that L. Yeah, but in a tough game, honestly, low-key, kind of sad. It's probably the end of Aaron Rodgers' career, and he was really the last of like that generation of great QBs that I wouldn't really say like maybe like we
That
grew up
era.
on, but we're definitely like a part of our developmental like football years. Like Aaron Rodgers been around since like what
He got
2008,
drafted
9.
in
He's been
05.
starting.
They started in 08, yeah.
Started in 08, so yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I would go 08 because that's when you really started remembering him. But yeah, I mean that's a
Won a
damn
Super
good
Bowl
run. Almost,
when we were in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
yeah. And statistically has been one of the greatest quarterbacks all those years. Like maybe I don't know about his all time stats, but like you just look at his stats year in and year out, and he's
Stats
just
are
regularly
ridiculous.
top
sure he
like top
has-
5 every year.
Pretty sure he has the highest career passer rating all time.
I
would
don't
not
doubt that
dude.
for a
His
second.
stats are
Not even a little
freaking
bit.
Bonkers, man.
Especially when he was peaking, like dude was so efficient and just
Oh my
yeah,
god.
crazy
Around, like,
good.
107.
Single digit interceptions.
It's a wonder that he only has one Super Bowl. Honestly,
I
it's kind of
know.
it's a testament. No, I don't hold as much of it against Aaron Rodgers. I think he should probably have another as good as he was. He should probably have another.
Yeah.
But he did also. He was playing against Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, all these other good quarterbacks he had to compete with. Even fucking Pat Mahomes these last few years. So he's had a ton of competition. I mean, and Green Bay's never been bad about the team around him, but they've never been great about putting the best team around him. Like he's
Yeah,
always had competent
absolutely.
teams around him, but he's never
I don't-
had like a
I don't
playoff
think they
team around
drafted
him.
a receiver for like several years in the first round or
Yeah.
something. He was asking for weapons. Like, yeah, that team could have been a lot better about trying to make the best team.
Yeah, they
around
they
them.
should have really just, in my opinion, just focused on stacking that offense over those years, and I think
Mhm.
they probably would have definitely at least made a few more Super Bowls, if not one, at least another. But
Defense was
yeah,
always
it's
good.
it's a damn shame to see it go out like that. And I never liked Aaron back in Green Bay, and I'm sure you guys didn't, being Vikings fans. But look, I was kind of starting to like him as with the Jets. He was kind of fun.
He was fun,
Like,
but-
like that preseason clip, like, hey, what's going on, man? You look fat as shit.
Yeah, he's
That
funny,
was-
but
that had me rolling, man.
not a fan.
Yeah, if that's the end of his career, I mean, hell of a career. I think he'll
Yeah.
try to come back. I don't think he should, but
Yeah, I don't think he should either, but I think I agree, he probably will try. If that is his career, where do you guys think he ranks all time? QBs.
probably in the top 10 somewhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, top 10. You can't go top 5, but
No, I can't with
Yeah.
one Super Bowl. But
we should do that for an off-season episode too.
yeah, absolutely. All-time
just
QB rankings,
do
top 10.
do probably like top 25, maybe even top 30 QBs, because I think there's so many good quarterbacks that could be on that list. Even if you go past 10, you can make an argument for. Yeah, we could actually do a top quarterback series like that. That would be fun, along with like the top franchise series. But I guess we could actually go ahead and get into the actual game a little bit. Now that we've all
Yeah.
said it. Or Reed, do you have anything you want to say about Aaron Rodgers' career? Any last condolences?
No, don't have much to say.
No.
Only thing I do have to say is kind of mean. Where was this when he was in Green Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he miss a whole year there? Yeah. Cold, but I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's like if this was gonna happen, why not a year when it's gonna be in your division? I feel that for sure. Like for me, like the Tom Brady year, he was out all year, coming back after the almost undefeated year where he was out all year. Like, why couldn't that have happened when he was old and in Tampa?
You know, that probably would have been bad if that would have happened with Rodgers, like, in Green Bay, because they probably would have just got a really good draft pick and then came back next year and kicked their fucking ass even harder. So, come to think of it,
so
now,
right. You're
I'm glad
so
that didn't
right.
happen, dude.
That's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah.
Because it would have
Yeah.
happened like the
Pass.
year, like, it would have happened like a deep quarterback class,
Oh,
too. They'd be set with
or
their
even
franchise
just-
Q.
Well, not even saying that, like, Rodgers comes back healthy that next year, so it's still in the middle of his prime, and they get, like, the fucking best receiver.
Or something like that.
I
I
wouldn't
was-
do anything
Or
to
Micah
help him.
Parsons, or, you know, yeah.
Or some, yeah, a game changer. I was thinking you were saying like they like draft a
I mean, it
quarterback
could've
and
been-
then trade Aaron Rodgers for a
I don't-
haul or something
I mean,
like
that
that,
could have
and then
been
they
the
got
case, too. You know, think of all
either
the
way.
possibilities.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
it's actually
bad,
probably
bad
better for the
scenario.
Vikings. It did happen in New York. You're right.
Not like we would have capitalized on it anyway. I would have
Yeah,
won 8
facts.
games, lost
Yeah,
the division to
facts.
Detroit. God.
I was gonna make a Bounty Gate joke, but I won't do that. But yeah, as far as this actual game goes, honestly, the Jets looked like the Jets last year, so I guess they probably would have looked really good with Rodgers, because
really good defense.
yeah, defense looked good, and it was kind of Garrett Wilson being the only kind of shining light on offense. Brees Hall, I guess. I forgot about Brees Hall. Brees Hall's a fucking animal.
Dude.
Uh,
Oh man, and Dalvin being washed makes that pick so much better.
what did Dalvin do this week?
Oh, he was washed.
Not a whole
dude. He
lot.
only had like 2 yards per carry. He is just gone. I was just watching him too. Like everything about like his game regressing last year just got worse. So yeah, very not saying happy, but like for fantasy wise, Brees
But
Hall
you're
looked
glad,
great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say that you were glad you guys moved on. Not like
Well, I'm
happy
glad
he's
we
bad,
moved
but
on
glad
for
you guys
sure.
moved on.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that too. And Adam Thielen had a stinker too. Same with
Same.
Kendricks. Pretty much all the Vikings players we got rid of had stinkers. So smart moves, I will say. The right decisions. Not to get too far.
Hopefully
off
that
topic here,
continues.
but-
For Buffalo though, I know they gave Josh Allen some fits last year, and that the Jets defense is we know they are that good.
Yeah.
But Buffalo just didn't look very good on offense. And it is week one. Again, it is week one. You can't take too much stock into it. But, that kind of tying back into what I was saying about New England earlier. New York, obviously, without Aaron Rodgers, probably going to be like last year. Probably...
Mhm.
If Zach Wilson is a little bit better than he was last year, which I obviously not going to hold my breath on, and I'm not even saying take a step forward. I'm not even going that far. I'm just saying a little bit better than he was. Like maybe he just grows a little bit. Maybe they're a 500 team, ish team, but I don't really see that honestly. And if Buffalo's going to have problems on offense throughout the year, I like that for New England, especially if our offense is turning around and our defense stays playing well. Yeah, I think that could suit up well for us. Low key, after week one, I think Miami might be the front runner for the AFC East.
You might not be wrong. They look like a
Um,
juggernaut on offense. I don't know about
As far
Yeah,
as all
probably
AFC
Miami.
East teams went, they definitely looked the best week one out of all 4 of the teams. So.
Yeah, agreed.
Our games against them, I think, will be pretty clutch against this year, or pretty important for us to be clutch this year. But going back to Buffalo versus the Jets, I can't. Yeah, like I said, I can't say the Jets were unimpressive just because of everything that happened, but Buffalo was kind of unimpressive.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've been kinda saying
it is
that-
week one, so it's weird. But
I've been saying Buffalo's going to have a down year. They're going to be very inconsistent back and forth. They'll probably win week 2. I think Josh Allen's going to have a really, not only the Madden curse, but just, I saw Nick Wright tweet out this absurd stat where in his last 19 games, Josh Allen has like 37 turnovers, and he was breaking it down, and he's basically averaged 2 turnovers per game in the last 19.
That's crazy.
I think like 19. How many were interceptions? Like 26 of the 37 were interceptions or something like that. I don't have it pulled up, and I don't follow him, so I'm not going to search it. But
Yeah, don't blame me there. No, I don't know why anyone would want to follow Nick Wright.
yeah, for real.
Brady, do you follow Nick Wright?
Yeah, I think I do.
Brady!
You
I follow
need
like
to
a
fix
lot of that shit, just because some of the shit he says is pretty outlandish and funny to look at. So, yeah. Same with
Yeah, I
Colin,
guess so. You
too.
gotta follow some people to laugh at.
Yeah.
I used to follow Skip just to laugh at his tweets, so that's
Yeah,
fair.
for sure.
Like, I used to follow Skip on Instagram and Twitter just for the 4 a.m. LeBron you up post.
Yeah.
LeBron, I'm in the gym. Even better are the days. It's like 3:30 a.m. He's like, LeBron, I'm here in the gym getting my first workout of the day in. Well, I'm sure you're getting your first workout in too. Just checking in with you, like, Skip, why do you need to work out at 3:30 a.m. in the morning? Get a grip, bro.
Yeah, man, he's a clown. I think it's hilarious. I don't know if you guys have caught, but Shannon Sharp saying Skip a bunch of times to Steven.
Skip.
A. What it do, baby? Skip. Living rent free in his head.
What is Shannon Sharp up to since
First take.
since oh, he's on First Take? Oh yeah, that's right. I knew that.
He's calling Stephen
calling
A.
Stephen A.
Skip.
Skip.
Yeah. On accident like 3 times. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
I love it. Good. Stephen A. deserves it, honestly.
It's okay, brother. It's okay. It's 7 years. It's okay. I get it.
There's one thing I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one time, Skip. I'm gonna tell you one
sorry,
time,
dude.
okay? Okay. I want you to listen closely, Skip, okay? The Denver Broncos and the AFC West of the NFL will never, and I mean never, ever win a playoff game with Tim Tebow as their starting quarterback, Skip. Come on. The boy can't throw the ball.
I hear everything.
Almost
you're
sound like
saying,
you're going for a
Stephen A.
Boston accent there.
I mean, he kind of got the New York Boston accent. I mean, they're not. They're kind of
kinda
pretty
almost
similar.
ties
They're
them
not too
together,
different.
Yeah, the Brooklyn accent. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if he's from Brooklyn. Just it is similar to Boston. I think Boston's a little bit funnier.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're all just blue collar city assholes.
With that, I would say no
Spend
more
too much
Aaron
time in
Rodgers
traffic.
revenge tour and Bills regression season is how I've got it going.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, obviously not probably. More than likely, not coming back from the torn Achilles unless he takes some steroids or something. But
Rub some dirt on it, you pussy.
yeah, yeah. Maybe he goes on a crazy ayahuasca trip and he comes
Yeah.
back and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Took some-
he's back by week 5. I was healed through the power of the Holy Spirit or whatever. I don't know what he said on the Pat McAfee show. I mean, it was honestly kind of dumb that he got a lot of shit for doing it. Like, ayahuasca would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, except for throwing up and shitting yourself.
Yeah, and isn't it like a multi-day thing?
I think it lasts for like several hours. Might be multi-day.
Oh no, I'm
Thinking
thinking
of
maybe it's
it.
peyote that's
Yeah, I
multiple
would-
days or something.
I don't know. Like ayahuasca's probably like cleaner to take, but I'd probably take peyote. I don't know. I just don't want to shit myself. Honestly. When it comes
I
out to-
don't
have, like-
honestly. I don't think I could handle either one. Both are probably far too
I mean,
crazy.
Even
Anything
LSD
I could ever
anymore, dude. That's just Molly.
Just
was
every time I even think about peyote, though, I just think of Young Guns, the movie, where they all take peyote and they're all just tripping balls out in the desert, and the
Yeah.
one dude like shoots his gun off in the air like 3 times, and he's
Or,
like, "Did you guys see the size of that chicken?"
or that Family Guy episode where like Joe drugs one of the cups of coffee. It's like one of you's about to lose your frickin' minds, and like they all
Yeah.
getting weirded out, and then like he's like, "What's all this skin doing here?" And just rips his fucking skin off. Christ.
That was Quagmire that said that, right?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
this all the skin
What's this?
doing on here? Put your skin back on. What if this is about to freak out?
Oh, that's funny.
God.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that probably about wraps it up for week 2. Record wise, I finished out the week on top at 10-6. Reed came in second at 9-7. Reed 8-8. I definitely hope to build on that next week with a good week. Maintain my lead there. Pretty proud of how we performed throughout the week. You know, our crew worked real hard, and yeah,
And the
pit
timing.
change was fast. We got all 4 tire changed real quick on the 42 Chevrolet, so that was
Yeah,
nice.
4 tires of Snowco fuel.
Yeah, Snooko fuel. Yeah, keeping us full, kept me going the whole Sunday, even through Thursday. You know, because we came out hot on Thursday. Kind of fizzed out there during the 12 o'clock labs, but you know we finished strong, and you know that's all you can hope to do in this 42 Chevy. You know,
So it's a little
to
tack
do the-
running down the inside.
hope to do
line,
the
but-
same thing as Sonoma next week is all I
Yeah.
hope
Sorry
to do.
to break this up. We're running long on time.
Oh shit! Yeah, we are. But all right, yeah. Well, I'll quit gloating about my 1-win victory for the week. Go ahead and follow us on all the socials at ZBR Sports. Me, Major Wang 22, Reed MINN_sports fan, and Brady Feldkamp at his name. And that will wrap things up for this week. We'll be back later within this week for fantasy reactions, predictions, and week 2 predictions as well. See you guys.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah.